Hey, I'm William Baxter.
And I'm Paul Bell.
And this is the third half of the countdown to The Force Awakens. This is, of course, our third part in this special for the Retro Review Show. Tonight, we are going to talk about Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Okay, we're going to talk about Revenge of the Sith. It came out again in the month of May in the year 2005. It was not too long, probably maybe my kid, my oldest and everything, was still a toddler at the time. You know, which is, now he's almost a year away from being a teenager.
Yeah.
But I have to say, this movie right here made up for the lack of what Episode 2 was.
It did.
And, a little bit the lack of what Episode 3 was. It was the first Star Wars to be PG.
Episode 1.
Oh, yeah, Episode 1. And it was the first Star Wars to be PG-13.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that the other ones now...
It was kind of surprising to me that it was PG-13 by, some of what was in it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that these two would be a whole lot better if they were PG-13. I don't see the problem.
I was surprised that they weren't PG-13.
Yeah.
I mean, especially Episode 1 wasn't a lot of what many would consider,
PG.
Yeah, I mean, nothing a parent would really have to explain.
Yeah.
That's a robot. That's a lightsaber cut robot.
And that's midichlorians.
Yeah. That part of physicists needs to be explained. That.
But
somebody of higher education.
I mean, the action in this movie was just, it was like, kind of Indiana Jones-ish, when it came to the violence and everything. And it made these two. Like I said, I think Lucas just purposely planned, the likeness of these two, and made this one because it had to be darker.
It had to be.
And because this was the fall of the dark, Anakin's fall to the dark side, the revealing of Palpatine as the Sith Lord Darth Sidious, the falling of the Republic, and the extermination of the Jedi through Order 66.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you could call it an extermination, seeing as how at the end of the film you do know some Jedi,
May have,
but I mean, it definitely, it was definitely one hell of a. You can almost call it a genocide. I mean, it really just, completely leveled the population of the Jedi.
Yeah. As I said, this movie wasn't bad. I mean, there was some of this, again, the corny parts with Anakin and Padme talking. You find out Padme is pregnant, but it's
somehow they're basically living together.
Yeah, and like nobody knew.
Yeah.
But
he was protecting her all night.
Yeah.
Just stood guard.
But it just But the movie itself, there's a lot of action.
Yeah.
Chewbacca makes an appearance in this movie. That Yoda is friends with the Wookiees.
Yeah. Which I think everybody was waiting for the Wookiees to show up. I mean, Chewbacca is one of the iconic characters of this franchise, of this saga.
And in the movies, you actually get to see the Wookiee homeworld.
Yeah. Yeah, Kashyyyk.
Yeah. And the last time this was ever shown was that holiday special that is, legendary status, as we know.
Yeah.
But which you can see on YouTube. But I have to say is that again, the clone troopers, they did not make any costumes for this. They were all CGI, and the technology had advanced even more.
Oh, yeah.
And they looked so real. I mean, they looked real, and it just. I mean, in the character of General Grievous and everything, he was the foreshadow of what what happened to Anakin as Darth Vader. His character was a little benign, but it was interesting nonetheless.
I think the fact that he was mostly robotic made up for the kind of robotic way he came across.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, a really cool character. I do think they could have developed the character more. But
if you watch the Clone Wars
series in the Clone Wars, they did elaborate on that. But I think it was because he was so well received as a villain.
Yeah. Again, Christopher Lee came back at the beginning of the film, and this time the Chancellor Palpatine was captured by the Separatist army.
Yeah.
And they were fleeing away. And the beginning of this movie I just love it.
It was an awesome opening.
Because when that was a scroll,
Yeah.
pan down, and then you see Republic ships.
Yeah.
And then you all of a sudden see all this fire and the Jedi.
It almost is reminiscent of A New Hope, you know.
In a way, yeah.
The way it kind of opens up into a, you know, space battle. But I mean, the space battle itself was just very well done.
And
visually just amazing.
I mean, and just seeing the, you know, the Jedi starfighters, you know,
Oh yeah.
in sync with each other, doing these twirls and spins and everything. And if you see, there's everything going on, and it literally, you know, they said it was a joke, and if you listen to the commentary, that there's everything in this scene but the kitchen sink, and they literally had a little, you gotta look very closely, but there's a little kitchen sink getting flown right into one of the ships and the bigger Republic ships and everything, and so it literally has everything and the kitchen sink in it. But I just have to say, it was very lighthearted a little bit at the beginning. It was fun at the beginning of this movie, you know?
Well, a lot of that was, you know, the back and forth between Anakin and R2.
Yeah.
Which, you know, R2 is a very lighthearted character. You know, he's very fun to watch.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's got to be one of the biggest comic reliefs through the entire saga.
Yeah. I mean, and rightfully so, other than Jar Jar.
Yeah.
And it just worked. It worked in so many levels in the beginning of this film. It felt fun. It felt like Star Wars fun.
Well, you also had that good chemistry between Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, and it actually worked.
Yeah.
You know, Hayden Christensen grew a little bit into this character and everything. He wasn't a whiny brat as he was often the second one. He was, you know, he was a well-seasoned Jedi now.
Yeah.
And he seemed to be, he improved a whole lot. I mean, he was in the place where he should have been in episode 1, or episode 2.
Very much so. I think a lot of it had to do with the Clone Wars cartoon series, kind of explaining you his evolution to, you know, General Skywalker.
Yeah.
You know, which I think every Jedi held the rank of general.
Just about almost all of them.
Yeah. But it was just really an awesome opening scene. You know, the way they kind of jumped into it. If you didn't have the context to know it was the open, you would think it would be a mid-movie scene.
Well, they did, when it came to the animated little shorts and everything, they left off on that and everything, because it was in between episode 2 and episode 3, these little mini shorts, and you can buy them as a collection, but they leave off as a cliffhanger that leads into episode 3, where General Grievous is kidnapping the Chancellor.
Yeah.
And I have to say, you know, once they get onto the what they call the Invisible Hand, which was Grievous's ship and everything, where they meet Count Dooku, and the lightsaber duel this time around between Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Count Dooku was absolutely fun. You know, because you got Chancellor Palpatine sitting in this chair that looked reminiscent of the throne room.
It did. It looked
in
very
Return of the Jedi.
I mean, even the seating position he was in, he didn't so much look like a hostage as much as a spectator.
Yeah.
I mean, he had both his arms by his side, you know,
the lines worked real well, you know. I mean, because, you know, Lucas wrote and directed this by himself this time around. But it just, you know, he seemed to have gotten a little bit of the edge and everything that, you know, he was getting back the flavor that he had when he came, because the last movie that he directed before episode 1 was episode 4.
Yeah.
But it worked in the way, you know, as you said, Obi-Wan and Anakin's characters, Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, they were working off well together. And then, you know, of course, you know, they had the lightsaber duel, and it was just working well. You know, Palpatine was basically cheering them on.
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't know, Palpatine, he did admire Obi-Wan Kenobi. He did like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I don't know if you could say admire. I think he respected him.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he knew in his mind there was just no way he could approach Obi-Wan with the same propositions he approached Anakin with. There was just no way. Obi-Wan was a tried and true Jedi.
Yeah.
You know, you could almost say he was the paragon throughout the movie. I mean, he really just, you know, believed in what Qui-Gon taught him.
Yeah.
But, you can tell Palpatine, he had a lot of respect for the Jedi in general.
Yeah.
I mean, he really didn't put them down a whole lot other than the way they saw the universe, the way they interpreted the Force.
Yeah.
But I think it was mostly the fact that he knew the level of skill that was in front of him.
Yeah.
Which really played well through
It's like anything, you know, like a baseball player would respect another baseball player for their skills and everything, or same with a football player, you know. But again, you know, when it came down to it, you know, Anakin had defeated Dooku by cutting off his hands and everything, and had the sabers crossed between them and everything, crisscross,
Yeah.
against his throat and everything.
Scissor fashion.
Yeah. But Palpatine, the Sidious, came out of Palpatine. That the first time you get to see this and everything, he's like, very good, Anakin, very good.
Yeah.
Kill him now. And just the way he looked at him, and you knew Dooku. You already knew Dooku knew that Palpatine was Darth Sidious and everything. And the look,
obviously, he was his master.
Yeah, but he looks over and he's like, because he thought maybe he knew that Palpatine said he was going to help him, but he just realized that Anakin is the one that he wants the whole time and everything.
Well, it plays a lot into the Sith culture, and it's not addressed completely in the saga. They tell you that there's a master and an apprentice, which I guess would say that Sidious is the exception to the rule because he had Darth Maul as well as Dooku. So I guess you would say that was a master and two apprentices.
Yeah.
But the Sith culture is kill or be killed. You get weak, you replace.
Yeah.
With Dooku losing his hands, obviously there was just no way he was going to be able to keep up with Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
So next best thing, you got to replace your apprentice.
Yeah, and the thing is that he knew that he had no time to get another apprentice to raise and to train one, so he already had a well-established Jedi in Dooku.
I don't know that he didn't have the time. I mean, from episode 1, you saw him playing, kind of the devil's advocate, if you will, to Anakin Skywalker. It gets more obvious in episode 2. He's become older. Sidious Palpatine is, throwing compliments his way. You're growing into a fine Jedi. You have power. You should explore that power. And then by episode 3, I think just the rapport between the two of them, I think he realized that was just the perfect timing for it.
And that having him on the Jedi Council at the age that he is and everything, very young, and wanting them to be a personal representative and saying that, he's the most gifted Jedi that he ever seen, and that
a lot of ego stroking, a lot of it.
Yeah.
I think he just saw his opportunity. And
then the Jedi
rapport between the two of them had grown. He had started to learn personal secrets about Anakin.
Yeah.
That was his opportunity.
And he knew what the Jedi was a little untrustworthy of Anakin because of his powers or so, and they kept him held back purposely because they knew he was extremely powerful.
Well, a lot of it, I think some of it was his ego as well.
Yeah.
I think the way he was portrayed in episode 2, the brattiness we talked about, the childishness of him, I think you're not going to not pick up on that.
Yeah.
All of these Jedi had at one point or another taught him in some way. So obviously, they probably had an inkling that he was just not mature enough for it.
I think also was the one thing I really loved about episode 3 though was that the friendship between Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
You can tell that it was fully blossomed and everything. Especially when they were working together on the ship on the invisible hand and everything. That their friendship and their partnership had grown and everything, and that they basically can read each other what they were doing and everything.
I think it became like a mutual respect. Obi-Wan saw him as more mature, being able to handle more, responsibility, more, just being able to get stuff done better.
Yeah.
He wasn't that goofy kid that he was watching, in episode 1. He wasn't the guy who was cleaning up after in episode 2.
Yeah.
I think it just with age, they had both just come to realize they'd both been through some serious things, and they could rely on each other.
Oh yeah, exactly. And also, you get to see when C-3PO is at his shininess.
Yeah.
And he finally gets his gold plated and everything. And other little things is that you get to see more of Coruscant. When Palpatine is sitting on the in that little dome setting and everything, where they're having like an opera type of show, and the calamari is having their like a dance type of music opera going on, and Palpatine's sitting there with his entourage and everything, and he basically tells them, "Leave us." When Anakin comes to tell him that they found General Grievous, and he starts talking about the Sith legend of Darth Plagueis.
Yeah.
And he basically, you know, in so many words says, I killed him. That was his master, that he killed him while he was asleep.
And I like the way he told it.
Yeah.
I mean, if it had turned on him and Anakin went, you know, hold on a second, you're a Sith Lord, he could have played it off.
Yeah.
No. Interesting story I had heard, you know. Just the way of him telling it was, you could feel the intent of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you could tell that he was leaving himself some wiggle room.
Yeah.
You know, while he was sure that Anakin was coming to the dark side, he didn't have 100% faith in that.
Yeah, and then explaining that Darth Plagueis had learned to use the Force to bring people back to life.
Basically gain immortality.
Yeah.
Which was something Anakin was searching for through the movie because he had dreamt that Padme was going to die.
Yeah.
You know.
And the story, it was well acted. It was probably the most well acted scene throughout the whole prequel trilogy.
Riveting is what it was. I mean, it was one hit after another. It was almost, the entire movie was almost a chase scene.
Yeah.
I mean, watching, you know, Palpatine try to chase Anakin over to the dark side, watching Anakin try to resist what he knows he shouldn't do, you know, but also watching him try to chase the prestige of a Jedi Master, you know, something that he honestly believed he had the power for, you know, he had the talent for.
Yeah.
You know, it was just a really, really good movie.
Yes.
Really well written.
Yes, as I said, this is my favorite out of the entire prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Another great moment. What was your great moment? What would you say was the best moment of Episode 3?
It's a hard choice.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of action in this film, you know, and honestly, one of the ones that stands out, and honestly, it's because I believe that Yoda was robbed, was the battle in the Senate.
That was really cool.
Yoda and Darth Sidious.
Watching, Palpatine, Sidious take those pods and just throwing them down, and I saw that in the trailer and everything when he was doing it. That what bought me. I'm like, because that was
what sold the tickets. Right there, you know. You had people on the fence. I don't know. Number 2, that was a disappointment. That physically hurt to watch.
Yeah.
Did he just throw that Senate box?
And Yoda and Palpatine are fighting each other, you know.
At that point, they were sold.
Yeah, and I like the scene where, he's got the Force lightning and everything, and Yoda's like backing up, and then all of a sudden he turns around with those eyes, and he's like, mother, and just pushes Palpatine back and everything, showing. But I tell you what, the beginning of that fight, when Yoda walks into his room,
and the knocks back the 2 Imperial
he just bitch slaps him.
Yeah.
And he's like, Master Yoda, you survived. And just that little talk off between each other, that right there, he's like...
it was like watching 2 heavyweights circle each other in the ring. It was tension building, the suspense, but I still believe Yoda was robbed.
Oh yeah. I just like it though when he goes, after he has shot Yoda with the Force lightning, he says, I've been waiting for this. And the music and everything going along with it and everything. He said, I've been waiting for this for a long time, my little green friend. And he's like, so powerful you are, why run?
Yeah.
And he just grabs his lightsaber and he just pulls, not using the Force to fuse it and everything. He's just, everything just about the fighting between that and, the fighting on Mustafar and everything, between Anakin.
Yeah.
The low point and everything is, when Anakin, is the dialogue between them at the beginning and everything of that fight on Mustafar when Anakin has turned to the dark side. But I will say this, when it...
I don't know. That part was a letdown. The part that bothered a lot of people, was the fact that Anakin killed the younglings.
Yeah.
It wasn't, at that point, it wasn't so much just, attacking Jedis.
Yeah.
At that point, it's attacking children.
Yeah. But you had to make people hate him now.
Yeah, well, it did that. That was the turning point at which Obi-Wan understood there was just no going back.
Yeah.
At that point, Yoda basically tells Obi-Wan, finish this.
Yes, the boy that you once knew is gone. Now he's consumed by Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And then, also there was, some of the scenes, of course, the battle on, the Wookiees' home world and everything. that looked good and everything, but I love the fact that when the Order 66 was put in, Yoda kind of already knew what's going on, and he flips and cuts off his soldiers' heads and everything. And this is really fun, is that when Chewbacca picked him up, put him on his shoulder, people were clapping.
Yeah.
They just loved that scene. I don't know why. I mean, it was a cute scene.
It was, I think it made a good kind of bridge between the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy. You know, we all know the training sequence of Yoda with Luke. I think it kind of bridged that with Chewbacca picking him up, and at the same time, Yoda had just such badassery.
Yeah.
You know, he just, you know, it was just one of those moments that really, you were like, finally.
Yeah.
One of these Jedis isn't getting taken down so easily.
But one of the things that a lot of people also kind of complain about is that Mace Windu got killed off like a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a scene. It was a good scene between when Palpatine finally revealed that he was the Sith Lord to Anakin.
Yeah.
And Anakin was about to kill him, but he decides to go to Mace Windu and the other Jedis to tell him what's going on. They come down there, and Mace Windu's standing in front, and he's got Kit Fisto and the other guys, and they're walking, and he's doing his, his badass walk into the
shaft walk.
Yeah, the shaft walk. I was about to say that
We'll
too.
just throw it out there.
Yeah. And it was a really cool scene, and he's like, "You're under arrest." And then Palpatine just jumps out of his chair, lightsaber pops right out of his sleeve, and he does this twirl and everything, and he just basically shredded the Jedi's to pieces and everything. And him and Mace Windu start doing this fight.
Yeah.
And you see the mastery of swordsmanship when it comes to a Sith Lord finally. A true Sith Lord, that powerful Sith Lord that Palpatine is. And he's bouncing around, basically like Yoda did in Episode 2.
Very reminiscent of it.
And then, they're fighting in the Senate, in his Senate office and everything. And, they knock the window out and everything. This whole time Anakin's been thinking about, Padme and hoping that, there's something that has to be done to save her. And he decides to go, well, I need Palpatine alive so I can figure this out. He didn't want to kill him.
It was the Jedi way. That was the point where he had kind of turned back onto the Jedi path.
Mm-hmm.
Admittedly, he needed Palpatine. He knew that. But at the same time, he didn't want him to die because that wasn't the Jedi way.
Yeah.
He had made mention in the scene with Mace Windu that he wanted him taken prisoner.
Yeah.
And Mace Windu, who is a hailed lightsaber duelist,
mm-hmm.
in the Star Wars universe, he actually says that Palpatine is too dangerous to keep alive.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was a very interesting moment in the film, kind of seeing, Mace Windu, who was basically knocked off his high horse.
Yeah.
I mean, he preached to Yoda that Anakin wasn't ready. He preached that, he wasn't ready to be a Jedi, but here you got a Jedi Master who's saying they should kill him.
Yeah.
And then you see, of course, Anakin telling him no, which gave Palpatine the opening.
Yeah, and he cuts off, once he's about to strike Palpatine, and you actually see Palpatine become the look and everything, but a lot of people believe that was his true face to begin with.
It may have been. I mean, he exerted a lot of power with that Force lightning on Mace Windu,
But seeing, he gets his arm cut off and everything, and then, Palpatine shoots him with his Force lightning, and he gets thrown out to, out the window. And then, seeing that basically him being christened, Darth Vader. And then, and then suddenly, he tells, go to Mustafar, wipe out the Separatist leaders, kill Newt Gunray, and, and Anakin goes off and does that. And then Order 66 has been given out and everything. And, the clone troopers and everything are wiping out all the Jedi. And Obi-Wan.
Which, if you saw the series, the Clone Wars, that gapped the two films, you would see what a great betrayal that was. I mean, you had these Jedis fighting alongside these clone troopers. Some of them, gaining names and prestige of their own.
Yeah.
With the Jedi's as their generals, but you see bonds being formed. Commander Cody was right behind Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And you see Obi-Wan being betrayed by somebody he considered a close friend.
Yeah.
Which, if you saw that gapping between the two,
yeah. Be sure to watch the Clone Wars on Netflix. It
makes it much more meaningful.
Especially the last season. Last season explains a lot, and it's really good.
Yeah.
But again, you know, when it comes down to the duel Mustafar and everything between Anakin and Obi-Wan, seeing them both fight because they know each other so well, and it's one of the, you know, people say, oh, it's so choreographed fight. They're Jedis in their prime, and they're fighting at the top of their level.
Not to mention, I mean, training with each other, knowing each other all them years. The fight probably didn't just drag on just because they trained with each other. I get the feeling it was still very hard for Anakin to admit he'd have to strike down somebody he considered a brother. I mean, Obi-Wan admits in that scene that, you know, he was his brother, you know, he was, you know, there with him at that time.
And then with Padme, you know, he, you know, thought that Padme was there to betray him, and he started force choking her, pregnant and all and everything. And, you know, she's, you know, she passes out and everything, and then, you know, they start their fighting and everything, and, you know, it just...
Although before the fight there is that corny moment, and I'd be remiss not to warn people about it. The whole Anakin, you're breaking my heart.
Yeah.
I mean, just right there, reminiscent of episode 2.
Yeah.
It physically hurt a little bit, like a freaking thorn in the brain.
Yeah,
you know?
it made you remember, oh shit, it was an episode 2.
It was almost like a soap opera at that point. I was so glad to see the action scene after that. I dropped my knees and thanked George Lucas.
But seeing them, like, you know, on that big spear thing that broke off and the lava floating around and everything, and them swinging on ropes, doing the lightsaber thing. And, I mean, the lightsaber thing, you know, they're like fast pace and everything. You know, almost thinking Anakin's about to fall. I'm like, oh, this is the money shot. Or when, you know, you see a thing of lava flying over.
It was almost reminiscent of pirate movies.
Yes, exactly.
I really liked it. It was very well choreographed, very well done. The intensity of it.
Yeah.
You know, Hayden Christensen had some terrible acting in episode 2. It was almost unforgivable. That fight sequence made up for that.
Yeah.
I think he redeemed himself.
And then
the fight sequence.
when he, you know, when Anakin or Obi-Wan jumps up to the high ground and everything, he's like, you know, I have the higher ground. He says, you underestimate my power. And he jumps up, and you see Obi-Wan cut off both his legs and his other arm. And, you know, all he's got is robotic arm left and everything. He's sliding down into the lava. And he stops, and then, of course, the lava fume or sparks, you know, catches him on fire. And then, you know, he's like, I love you like a brother. And then you see Obi-Wan take his lightsaber, you know, take it with him.
I mean, he wasn't a Jedi at that point.
Yeah.
You know, he lost that path.
Yeah.
And I mean, you see Jedi's, you know, compassion, you know, peace, almost hippie-ish if they weren't so badass. But you see him look at Obi-Wan, you know, like a brother, but that's gone.
And then see the fire in his eyes, and them yell, I hate you. Yeah.
I mean, I'll admit, that scene confused me from the original trilogy, where you hear Obi-Wan describing to Luke, his father, you know, this was your father's lightsaber, Darth Vader killed him, he wanted you to have it.
Yeah.
That's the one part in the whole movie that just sticks out in my mind.
But he had to lie to Luke, you know, because he knew that if Luke knew his father was still alive as Darth Vader, he would be a fear that, you know, that temptation would
it eventually came to fruition. He had that fear that he would turn to the dark side. But I mean, just overall, that scene was awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. And then, you know, and then after the, you know, Palpatine fearing that Anakin's and Darth Vader's in trouble and everything, and then you see the compassion that Palpatine had for Anakin. He wasn't just an apprentice.
You could see a bond.
Yeah.
I mean, it was almost a fatherly bond,
if
you will. I mean, he became the, you know, fraternal figure in Anakin's life, if you will.
That what Qui-Gon could have been, would have been.
Exactly.
And then, you know, of course, when he gets back, when Obi-Wan gets back to the ship and everything, he's of course exhausted and everything. Yeah. And Padme's, you know, still worrying about Anakin, you know, thinking that they're still good in him, and she's hurt and everything, and so they take him back to this planet and everything, where him, Yoda, and Bail Organa, who's played by Jimmy Smith, who eventually is, you know, Princess Leia's adopted father. She, you know, she's on that planet, and the people was like, you know, the alien race that are there, the medics and everything, are like, for reasons.
Robots. I think
most of them was, yeah. For reasons unbeknownst to us, she's dying.
Yeah.
We have to hurry up and get the twins, and they're like, twins? She's carrying twins, and they're like, you know, when she's having the twins, she seems to be having these twins with little to no pain, which, you know, I have seen childbirth.
It was,
bullshit, you know.
it was emotional pain, you know, that's where it started to dip back in the soap opera again,
Yeah.
you know,
And then
it
she
wasn't
would like,
physical pain, it was, you know, emotional pain.
and once the babies pop out and everything, she's like, look.
Yeah,
You know, like she had these names playing out, and then, you know, she didn't know she was having twins.
No.
And then Leia comes out, she goes, Leia. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and she's like, Obi, they're still good in Anakin. And, you know, she's like, she basically dies of a broken heart.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, you're having a child.
I half expected, you know, at that point, like a Spanish soap opera kind of thing, you know, Obi-Wan to just look over at her with a raised eyebrow. ¿Por qué? You know, it just, it was an okay scene. I mean, it was a little corny, but, you know, I think they made up for it in almost kind of a happy ending wrap-up with Obi-Wan delivering Luke to,
Well, yeah, but the thing was, when she died, though, you know, when they were sitting around there, you know, Bail Organa's like, you know, he says, you know, I'll take the girl, my wife and I have been wanting
a daughter,
a daughter and everything. And then, you know, Obi-Wan says, I'll take the boy to his family on Tatooine. Well, Yoda's like, take the boy to your family on Tatooine. He's like, I'll watch over him, you know.
Yeah.
But then Yoda stops.
I'd like to address the fact that they said Obi-Wan was a crazy old man.
Yeah.
Did I recall it? I thought, you know, he takes Luke to them. You know, you would expect some kind word. Just he's not that.
That's why I hope when he comes to the spin-offs, they do an Obi-Wan spin-off, because then you'll understand why you know, Uncle Owen and Obi-Wan has this falling out or something.
I get the feeling it's something over the Sand People. Just how well Obi-Wan dealt with the Sand People. You know, just it was good.
Yeah. But as I said, you know, and then when Obi-Wan's about to, you know, when they all agreed that this is the best that we need to do is to hide these children from their father and the Emperor, because the Emperor knows that they're a threat. And he knows that somehow that they can maybe converse Anakin to go back to the light side and be a threat to the Emperor. But what I thought was good and everything is when Obi-Wan got stopped by Yoda before he walked away, he says, more training I had for you during your exile. And he's like, and this is in the comic book, if you read the comic book to episode 3, Yoda is actually, you know, when he's sitting down before Jimmy Smith comes in and tells him that Obi-Wan Kenobi has arrived, he is talking to Qui-Gon Jinn when he's sitting there meditating. Now, if you watch the last season of Clone Wars, Qui-Gon Jinn makes, you know, his appearance back as a Force ghost, and he basically reaches out to Yoda to show him the ways to become the same way to how do you do this, because this is probably the only way you're going to need to do it in order to keep the Jedi going and everything. And this is his way, which is a prelude to episode 4, when it comes time for Obi-Wan and Darth Vader to fight once again on the Death Star and everything, because that explains why Obi-Wan did what he did when he did the Jedi pose of pray, you know, to allow himself to be killed.
It was recognized in the comic books and whatnot that Qui-Gon Jinn had an understanding of the Force that was actually beyond Yoda, which, you know, most people can't wrap their head around that, because everybody sees Yoda as the, you know, end-all be-all of Jedi. But you know, the fact that Obi-Wan continued to train with Qui-Gon, you know, that's what made him so powerful. I believe.
And Qui-Gon was not well liked between the council and everything, which is, you know, understanding, you know, which is weird and everything, that he would reach out to Yoda, because Yoda was one of his, you know, critics. But I have to say though, you know, this was it was a full circle. This movie was a full circle. It was so much better than, you know, it wrapped everything up real nice.
It wrapped everything up nice.
And the ending scenes and everything, like, you know, the twins being delivered to their new homes. You know, you get to finally see Alderaan. And then you get him to, you know, the scene with Anakin or Obi-Wan dropping off Luke to the Lars. You know, of course, the movie ends basically with an echo of, you know, Owen and Beru holding Luke, and they're looking at the two sons of Tatooine. You know, the scene that was inside episode 4 and everything, where Luke was standing there and looking at the same suns, or the sunsets. But one scene that got deleted, if you ever rent get a chance, you can look it up on YouTube or anything, a deleted scene of Yoda landing on Dagobah,
Yeah.
which was deleted, which I still think that they should have left it. But one of the scenes that stood out for the ending was when, you see a very young Governor Tarkin
Yeah.
on a soon-to-be early model Star Destroyer, the Emperor standing at the edge, and Darth Vader
Walks up.
walks up in a fake cave. If you look closely, it's the cave is fake. I don't know why they did it that way, but off in the distance they are building the Death Star, and you see the construction of the Death Star. Obviously, it's going to take a while to get that thing built because it's as huge as it is. But
there is also the scene where I guess you could say the iconic image of Darth Vader is born.
Yeah.
The implanting of the respirator in his chest.
Yes.
The armor, that dark black armor.
yeah,
And of course, seeing that his powers are still there.
yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of if you have a robotic limb that's not attached to the force, you can't use, but you actually see him start crushing the machines around you.
yeah. Out of his anger. I mean, the only thing that was bad about it was like the no.
Yeah, well, that's right back to that, soap opera.
Yeah.
If he would have dropped to his knees and thrown the fists up in the air, that right there.
But the last thing that was said in this movie and everything was by 3PO, who said the first thing in the first Star Wars movie, right when Bail Antilles, or Bail Organa, he goes up to Captain Antilles, says, Captain Antilles, I want you to take care of these droids, take care of them, clean them up, have the protocol droid's mind wiped.
Yeah.
And that explains everything,
the fact that they don't recognize.
Yeah, I mean, R2-D2 knows everything.
Yeah.
But, he does beep and boop and blop. And
I was kind of wondering why the hell C-3PO didn't, get the story back from R2-D2, I think it was a little bit of just R2-D2 being cocky.
Yeah. I mean, and plus, when you watch the fourth one and everything, Obi-Wan's like, I never recall owning a droid. And how many times did that droid save your life in the Clone Wars?
Yeah.
But anyway, I highly recommend Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. It may be a little too intense for little kids and everything, but as the time,
it really the audience it was shooting for.
Yeah, it had to be a little more intense than the other two and everything. I think it was kind of purposely done that way when it came to the first two, though I still think that the first two could have been PG-13 as well.
I mean, you had to truly understand how Darth Vader reached the level of prestige, the infamy that he got in, Episode 4, A New Hope.
Yeah.
Just, you can't convey that with just some soft storyline. You can't.
So, but I do have to say, I highly recommend Episode 3 again.
Yeah.
One more time, I want to thank Tom from the Brooding Tom on YouTube channel for making this head for Darth Maul and letting us borrow it and everything, use it and everything. It's a great detail.
Oh yeah.
He's got a video, I believe, where he makes this and everything, and a lot of other stuff. As I said in the last two videos, he's really good. You should try to check him out and everything. It's the Brooding Tom on YouTube.com. Thank you again, Tom, for letting us use this on the show and everything. I want to thank my kids for letting me borrow all the Star Wars figures that used to be mine.
Yeah, letting you borrow them.
Yes, and a lot, and a lot of stuff that I traded some stuff for, so they can have some of this stuff too, especially that thing, because Daddy gets to play with that too a lot.
There you go.
Again,
with full sound effects too.
Oh yeah. But as I said, that nice little setup and everything. I thank my kids again for letting me borrow this. Again, it's almost time for Episode 7.
Oh yeah.
And I'm really excited. Again, join us for our next 3 parts and everything, which will be talking about the original trilogies, which would be Episode 4, A New Hope, Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, Episode 6, The Return of the Jedi. Again, as you said, there was nothing really bad to say too much about this. So, I mean, there was no really favorite parts or bad. I mean, we said our bad parts was about this movie, but the movie in whole is a great movie.
it actually had a video game that followed
Yes, and you can,
the storyline
yeah.
to it, and in
you
that
can
video
alternate and
game,
everything.
you could actually use Force Lightning as Anakin Skywalker,
Yeah.
which was really cool.
And yeah, it was a really good game.
Yeah.
But as I said, all in all, you know, the
Oh.
prequel trilogies, you know, fans love them or hate them, they're there.
Yeah.
You have to accept them. They'll never remake them.
No.
But as I said, you know, it all boils up to episode
Yeah.
3. I think it ended the trilogy well. And again, please watch our other 3 parts that'll be coming out soon for the classic trilogy. And again, please like this video. That really helps us out a lot. I can't be enough to tell you how much it helps us and everything. Subscribe to this channel. Share this video. And again, we said in the last video, we're getting close to 900. Hopefully by the time this video comes out, hopefully around December, we will hit over 1,000. And I said, it's getting closer.
Yeah, it's building fast. You know, we got a great group of people that watch. You know, and we appreciate every single one of you.
And it said, you know, episode 7 is just right around the corner. And hopefully in our next shows and everything, we'll have some guests.
Yeah.
And again, you know, this has been a blast and everything, talking about these movies and everything. This is the one show that I've been waiting for since I did the Ocala Comic-Con and everything. Was talking about Star Wars on this channel and everything. Again, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Paul for
no problem.
giving us this extra space and everything. Normally we'd shoot in front of your TV screen or my TV screen, but we got a nice little room so we can show everything off and have like a little studio. Again, like, subscribe, and share this video. Thanks again to Tom and everybody else who's watching. This has been the Retro Review Show, the Star Wars Countdown to the Force Awakens special. And we talked about the prequel trilogies. And again, I'm William Baxter.
And I'm Paul Bell.
Take it easy, and may the Force be with you all.